what is the relationship between Brahman and the individual soul, the jiva? According to Advaita Vedanta, the jiva, the individual soul, is completely identical with Brahman, but appears to be a limited entity separate from Brahman because it is associated with an unreal limiting adjunct. The Sanskrit term which Shankara uses is upadhi. So I am Brahman, but because I am ignorant, I superimpose an upadhi, a limiting adjunct of jivatva onto myself, and I think of myself as an individual soul. And that's the case for everybody who's ignorant. This is Advaita Vedanta's view, but from the ultimate standpoint, from the Paramatya standpoint, there is no individual jiva. The jiva is Brahman. According to all the schools of Bhedabheda, Brahman is both different and non-different from jivas. Again, this is why their school is called Bhedabheda. Bheda plus Abheda. Because Brahman is on the one hand different from the individual souls, and Brahman is non-different from the individual souls. And they use some interesting metaphors to explain how this can be true. Both of these things can be true at the same time, difference and non-difference. They say that Brahman relates to jivas as the whole relates to its parts, like fire and its sparks, and the ocean and its waves. So think about an ocean and its waves. In one sense, the waves are non-different from the ocean, the same water. In another sense, the wave is different from the ocean because the ocean is vast and infinite, and the wave is just one particular name and form. So you see how they use these metaphors to explain how Brahman can be both different and non-different from jivas at the same time. Bhaskara was the founder of this Aupadika Bhedabheda school of Vedanta. It's a very old school of Bhedabheda. And according to Bhaskara, the jiva is in essence identical with Brahman. So this is similar to Shankara's Advaita Vedanta in some ways, but different in other ways. But that jiva, even though it's identical with Brahman, becomes limited and subject to suffering when associated with upadhis, limiting adjuncts. So notice, you might think this is very similar to Shankara's view. How is it different? But Bhaskara, the key difference is that Bhaskara takes these upadhis to be real, while Shankara takes them to be unreal. This is the key difference between Bhaskara's Aupadika Bhedabheda school and Shankara's Advaita Vedanta. According to Vishishta Vedanta, jivas, like the world, relate to Brahman as the body stands to its soul, with the former being intimately connected with, yet entirely dependent on, the latter. So jivas themselves, each of us as individual souls, can also be seen as the body of Brahman. And the soul, of course, is Brahman. Ramanuja also uses the terms amsha and amchi, that these different jivas are portions of Brahman. According to Madhva Vedanta, jivas are what he calls pratibimbas of Brahman, reflections of Brahman, but not reflections in the sense of being an illusion, anything like that. You might think that pratibimba is also used in Shankara's school, but he's using it in a very, very different sense. He was very vicious in attacking Shankara's school, so he would not adopt Advaita's doctrine. He claimed that jivas are reflections of Brahman in a very technical sense, that these jivas depend entirely on Brahman for their existence, and that these jivas remain eternally different from Brahman. In this technical sense, jivas are considered to be reflections of Brahman, according to Madhva Vedanta.